Hello, hello. How are folks doing? I'm a couple minutes early, but I don't want to make you guys sit there in silence for forever. Hello. Oh, I have a cat. I can hear a cat outside my door scratching at it. Someone's unhappy that I am in here and they're not. But hello. I've got some things to work on today, and then also I think we'll probably decide on something else too. I'm gonna grab a cat real quick. Let the cat come say hi, because I think they want in. Come here. Come say hello. Come here. No, I'm not following you. You can come say hello if you want. Come on in. Kitty cat. Yes, come say hello to the people. Come add cat hair to things. What? Come say hello. Hello, shoulder cat. You're just gonna hang out here for a second and add cat hair to things? Hello. I got a kitty cat. Where are you going? What are you sniffing on my sweater? What did I spill on my sweater that you're licking? I've apparently spilled something on my sweater. Oh yeah, there is something on my sweater. What do I have on my sweater? Who knows? This is my trusty house sweater, as I call it, that's doesn't usually leave the house. I don't usually leave the house in it, so I'm streaming in it instead. Yes, hello. We'll kick her out in a minute. Yes, hello, sweetheart. But yeah, we've got a few things to work on today. Oh no, it's boiling hot outside, but I'm in my basement, which is luckily quite cool. Yeah, my basement stays pretty cool year round, which is nice. Hello. But no, outside it is boiling hot. Actually, it might only be in the 90s. I say only in the 90s. But yeah. Hello. So we've got a few things to work on today. I have, it's very nice. Come inside, you can go downstairs, it's great. I've got some Vampire the Masquerade dice that I need to re-pour. I'm literally just gonna pour a full set of these kind of bone ones. I was originally just gonna pour some. I had a few that didn't turn out. Hello. I had some that didn't turn out in this set, and so I was just gonna pour, you know, those. But I figured I'm just gonna pour all of them again because I kind of want to make them a little bit more white. I think, like these are they're not bad for bone, but they're definitely a little off white, which is not bad. But I want them, I think, a little bit more white. Where are you going, kitten? Okay, baby. I think it's time for you to leave now. I don't need cat hair everywhere. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Alright. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I just know that I'm gonna get cat hair everywhere. I have it in my mouth. It is a mixture of, I actually have the thing still pulled out. It is a mixture of the Morandi warm gray, the Morandi maroon, which I think someone does not know what color maroon is because it is not actually a brown. Oh my gosh, what brand is that? I'm blanking. What's that brand called? The Pinata, there we go. The Pinata Blanco, and then this like super cheap resin pigment thing. Gentian resin pigment. It was a good white, and I thought that would work well. And then I did kind of like a dirty pour. I didn't actually do a mixture of this into resin. These three are like the resin colors plus clear resin, and then I did, you know, a couple drops of the white over top of that. So we'll put those together today. I'm doing 10 Vampire the Masquerade dice of those. I've got, here's a little bit of a sneak peek for patrons. I've got some blanks that I need to get encased in some dice. So I've got the blanks. but they need to go into dice. And then speaking of Patreon D20s, I need to come up with a design for July's dice. I haven't actually decided what I want to do for those, and I'm trying to kind of, I want to have a variety. Yeah, they're so sparkly, and this is the matte version too. They're so much sparklier when they're inside the resin. They're gonna be so colorful and sparkly. I only have 3 here at the moment. I've actually already poured the other ones for that. I've started doing the Patreon D20s kind of in batches, partially just in case I don't like this. Like, you know, I'll do 3, and then if I don't like them, it's fine. I'll just toss them into my miscellaneous dice bin and I'll try a different design. But I want to figure out something that's varied. I try to do like a different color every month type thing. I don't want to have 2 back-to-back that are super similar. These are the ones for June. So I don't necessarily want to do something that is really dark and rainbowy for July and sparkly. So I don't know what exactly I want to do. I'm just gonna pull out the paint chips and we can look through it and see what we've got. So May, I did kind of like a light, here, let me pour this out and we can talk. For May, I did kind of like a light yellow, and a little bit more of like the orangey tones. I think it straight up uses some of this light yellow in it. That was May. June, I have dark and sparkly. I think the one before that was a lot of blue and sparkly. So maybe purple? Maybe we could do something purple for July. Or like pink, like maybe like a pink or something. Do glow in the dark. Maybe something a little bit more muted. Maybe I could go for like a green maybe. What if I just did like a nice kind of like more muted greens, dirty pour? Almost go for like a jade sort of look. I could go for kind of a jade. That's an idea. I could go for green. That's an option, is green colors. I'm thinking purple. I'm thinking maybe red. Haven't done red in a while. I have to try and remember what I've done recently. April was blue. March was, I don't remember what I did in March. What did I do in March? I don't remember what I did for March. But that's at least a few months ago. So we've got a little bit of time if I accidentally repeat colors. But we've done like blue and then light yellow and then our dark sort of rainbowy colors recently. What y'all think? What do y'all think? Maybe green? Kind of liking the green. I mean, obviously I could do more than one color too. It doesn't have to be just green. But I feel like we could do something cool with some green colors. Here, let me put these in here. Yeah, maybe green. We could do like a mix of green and some other colors. I don't know. I'm thinking green tones, and I'm thinking a dirty pour. I think that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. It's like a green dirty pour. I don't know why. It's just sounding good to me. We could maybe throw in. I mean, I could try doing. Do I want to go single tones though? I feel like recently I have done a lot of dice where it's just like a single color. Not, you know, you know, tone of that color, but I did like a blue dye, I did a like yellow and orangish colored dye. So maybe it would be fun to do something that has more than just green in it. I mean, I could do like green and pink. That's a classic. I could go for kind of like 3 tones. You know, I could do green and orange and green and orange and pink or something. Oh, look at those colors together. That's definitely, I could go neon. I feel like I haven't done just like neon recently. Go for neon colors. I could do it in this order too. I'd do it in kind of like layers. Just do kind of like layers of these tones, and then if they mix together a little bit, it won't be too bad. You know, the orange and the pink won't really make, well, the orange and the green would kind of make a brown. I might have a blue though somewhere. These are all glow-in-the-dark ones. Yeah, that one's not quite as neon though. I have a good neon, glow-in-the-dark blue. Welcome to how, yeah, I could do the, well, it would be, maybe it'd be kind of cool. So here's what I was thinking. I was like, it'd be really cool to do the glow-in-the-dark neon as like a dirty pour with black ink. But I worry then that we're kind of getting close to this in terms of like color scheme. I don't want it to have 2 in a row that's just, you know, black with bright colors. So maybe I table that for a couple months down the line. I think I have, just a second. Let's see, I might have a spot in my planner here where I was writing down ideas for the D20s. Am I doing that somewhere? Nope. I guess I don't. Maybe clear or white backing to, oh, could do like true, actually, clear might be kind of cool. We could do clear with the like neon colors. That'd be kind of fun. My concern is them mixing, but honestly, I think having that little bit of a barrier might work out fine. I'm thinking maybe like a split cup pour. We do like a split cup with maybe the blue in there, maybe not. I'm gonna see if I have like a more neon one with that, and then like clear. The chips are down. All in. There we go. There's the extent of my real poker knowledge. I'm more of a blackjack kind of person. Yeah, I think I like the idea of like a clear or a white. That's a great idea. Then we get the fun colors and that's fun neon color too. I'm gonna pull out all of my glow-in-the-dark ones. So these are all my glow-in-the-dark colors, and they're all really pretty neon tones. I could also mix in like an ink that's like a neon, and that will help kind of bring that out a little bit too. The real problem with the glow-in-the-dark, well, we're gonna do a dirty pour, so it'll probably be better. I've found that my glow powders tend to sink really easily. So if I there's a few, there's a reason for these. I'll explain that in just a second. What was I saying? Before I got distracted by the dice. Oh, glow powders, they tend to sink a lot, so if I pour them while the resin's still a little bit liquidy, even if I do it in like a dirty pour or something, these will try to sink. But I'm thinking we're going to do a dirty pour, which I'll do when the resin's a little bit thicker anyways. So hopefully they won't sink too much. Oh, it's fine. I'm just easily distracted. No, these were actually tests. You can see these are the really old cheap molds from Amazon that I did these on. These were interference pigments. So this right here this one for example is this one. It looks, you can see the purple. This is an interference mica, and I did it with a black background just to see what the interference would look like with a dark background, because you can't really see it very well in there. It just looks like a white powder. It does actually have a little bit of a purple shimmer to it, but it's very hard to show on camera. But in person you can see a slight kind of purple shine. But yeah, this was, I figured, a better way for me to see how it would look with the dark background. I haven't then continued, because I've got a bunch of other interference micas here that I have not done that for. That was pretty early on. It was really pretty early on before I got some of these. Yeah, like this is an interference mica just mixed with the resin as opposed to dusted into the mold with a dark background. Alright, but yes, I think I like this idea. We'll do either white or clear with some glow-in-the-dark pigments. I'm just trying to see if I have all of my glow-in-the-dark ones. Let's just start putting some of these back in here maybe, and then I can. Nope, yep, here's another glow-in-the-dark. Not quite as, oh, there's another glow-in-the-dark. Not quite as neon, but. Sorry if it's a little bit loud while I dump these back in the thing. You were gone so long! Okay. Alright, I think that might be all of my glow. Actually, wait. 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Oh, there's 2 more somewhere. So I have 12 bottles. Got a case from Costco. Oh no. I'm sure that is so many of them. What am I missing? I've got the sky blue and the yellow green. What's this one? Oh, the blue green. Oh, is that the blue green? There's another one. Alright, we're missing one more. And then, oh, there's a purple somewhere. That's what I'm missing, is a purple. Where's my purple glow in the dark? Because this one's kind of, I think this is like the magenta. This one's like magenta. There's an actual purple somewhere buried. Oh, here it is. There we go. There's all of my glow-in-the-dark ones. You can throw these back in here now. I don't really drink energy drinks, so I don't really know what the standard price is. That sounds not bad though. Let's pare this down a little bit. I do like the idea of neon. I think this orange is kind of fun. I think the green's good. Yeah, let me pull out these ones that are just kind of white or off-white. I do prefer my tea. Take those out. I mean, we could add like a neon ink to them, but I don't think we need to. I mean, I'm kind of like the original ones, but I like that's more neon. Like these are, one of these feels, I feel like that one, it's where it's kind of like a pink. Arnold Palmer's for the win. I mean, that has tea in it too. That's my dad and my brother's drink of choice is an Arnold Palmer. Half lemonade, half tea. I'm a purist. I'm just a a black tea enjoyer. I say that like I'm not eating, like I'm not drinking Constant Comet at the moment, which also is like orange and a little bit of spice. I'm thinking, oops. Do we want the purple in there too? Or maybe, or do we want just these? Or do we want like a purple in there too? The purple's maybe not quite as neon. We could go for this pink instead. I'm thinking not the yellow. I don't know why, but like we're doing white. I feel like the yellow might just kind of, yeah, or clear. I don't think the yellow. I think I like this orange better than this orange. Like I do like this orange. It is a nice bright orange, but I think I'd rather have a pink. These look so similar. This one's so bright though. I think I'd rather have kind of a pink. I like that one, I think. Yeah, if there's more colors, yeah, it's more likely to muddy it. Like I like these colors, but I do kind of want maybe like a purple or something in there. Maybe this one. Do we like these 5? If we were gonna get rid of one, which one do you think we should get rid of? Could go for that. That's maybe a little bit darker. Could go for that, which feels more like slightly off, like primary colors in green, I guess. Could do. Oh, to be fair, I've got kind of a rainbowy sort of. Keep purple. Are we? I grabbed this purple. I do have a darker purple too, but I figured this one was a little bit more neon. Yeah, get rid of it. Could do something like that. Blue and green does not make yellow. Yellow and blue makes green. If I keep, I could keep these two. Well, this is actually more of an orange, but I could keep these two and probably end up with kind of green color in between them. But I was like, what? But we've got kind of is firework the theme? So, firework's not really the theme. It's just that these are for July. Purple, red, and orange. Just do those. I actually, so I am adding stuff to my shop, on Friday. Yes, I'm gonna add stuff to my shop on Friday. It's up for patrons already. And I'm adding a set of raw dice, so unsanded and stuff, that are pretty much in these colors and they glow in the dark. So if you're a big fan of this set of colors, keep an eye out for those. But because I do also like that selection of colors right there. It feels very kind of sunrisey. I mean, I kind of like that though too. That feels kind of sunrise-ish. I think I like all 5. Yes to these 4. Is that what you guys are saying yes to? There's so much delay, I don't know what we're talking about. Without the green? Alright, let's go for that. And I think that if these mix together a little bit too, we're less likely to end up with brown. Because the green mixing with, like, these all have enough kind of red in them that if they mix with the green, it'd probably make more of a brown color. If these two mix together, we're probably going to get kind of a brownish color, but that's really the only thing there that I'm worried about mixing and really muting it down a lot. All right, cool. I like this selection. Feels kind of sunrise-ish. I found my split cups. Where are they? Is that these? I found them and then, nope, that's not them. Where did I put those? Trying to remember. Is this them? Hey, this is them. Look at community has spoken. It is law. Do I have? Oh, I do have. Oh, these only have 4. I think there was supposed to be one in here that had 5, but it only has 4 spots here. I think. Let me check something. No, I don't have one that's 5, because these both only have 4. Haven't cleaned those at all either. We could make a split cup. Actually, wait, do I have? Check one more thing. Nope, that's only 3. Never mind. I have one more split cup in there as well, but it's only 3 sections. I mean, we could just do. Wait, it has 8 slots in it? I mean, that sounds, yeah. Cool. That seems cool. I mean, I could make a split cup if I wanted to. That's probably more trouble than I want to put into it. I could just do these 4 without white or clear. I could put. There's a few different ways we could do this. I'm just thinking. I could also just not use a split cup and use, you know, a regular. Just a regular thing and pour them in there and pour it. The advantage of the split cup like this is that it does keep the colors more distinct, I've found. Usually I don't have too much trouble with the colors staying distinct, but they do mix more if you just put them all into a cup like this and then pour it. I wouldn't mind. Here's an idea too. What if I did? Have I ever used plastic syringes? No, I haven't really. Are you thinking like do clear resin and then inject color like into the molds? I could try that. I have some. I've literally got some sitting right next to me. There you go. I mean, I've got some syringes. I've never actually tried that. Should we try that? This is a bigger one. I think I might have some smaller ones too, but I have more of these than I do smaller ones. Yeah. True. Good. Yeah, little beads of color. Here's the I'm thinking. Yeah, spend it in like clear. I'm thinking again about how much these are gonna sink. I guess if I did it when it's really thick, it might be okay. I might need to find a. I don't know that this is long enough. Let me grab a smaller one. Oh, I could use pipettes. What am I thinking? Pipettes might work better for that, actually. Might as well just use a pipette. I've got a bunch of them. We could try that. I do think the syringe might be easier when the resin's thicker, but I don't think that the tips are going to be long enough to actually get it into the mold where I want it to be. I think if we want the glow-in-the-dark resin to not all completely sink to the bottom, we're going to need to pour these when the resin is really thick. That was part of the reason I was thinking. To be fair, we could try all of these. Like we're kind of doing the initial tests to see what what design I want to do for the D20s. I'm not going to make all of the D20s today. So we could do one where we try injecting the colors into clear resin. We could try one where we do a dirty pour. And we could try another one where we do some other design. I don't know what other design we want to do. I was thinking we'd do like 3. We could do one with that and one with maybe just the colors in a split cup and see how that feels. We'll do this one with clear and then strips of the color in it. And then this one will just have these 4 colors with no clear. I'll do them in this order next to each other and we'll try that. I think that's a good experiment for all 3 of them. Do we want to put anything else in here with these? I think maybe not, right? Like, it's kind of cool to have them just be as is. I'm gonna cut these down just a little bit because we're gonna be working with the resin when it's really thick, and it's gonna be hard to kind of get it out of the pipette if I have the really thin, narrow part. It's still narrow enough that we can get these, you know, into the mold. So that'll be fun. Okay, cool. Set these here. Set these like this just so I can remember what's what. We are going to need mixing cups for all of these. Should I grab some new ones, or can I just clean? I might be able to just clean this. Yes. Or science! Well, I've said before, I feel like that's the fun part with resin. I like to treat, like, pretty much every time I pour resin as a bit of an experiment. Because even if it doesn't turn out the way that you expected or that you wanted it to, you know, you can still learn something fun from it. Sometimes that's where you end up with, like, the coolest stuff, too. That's just so satisfying to me when I can just pull out the whole chunk of... I might as well just grab new mixing cups, though. Don't ask how many dirty mixing cups I have off to the side here. It is more than 1. I was gonna say less than 100, but I don't actually know. Can I just pick you up? Da-da-da! You saw nothing. I'll just grab some nice, happy little accidents. Yeah, exactly. We'll just grab those. Grab those. And then let's also grab the actual thing. So, mauve. Red. That's pink. Where's the orange and where's the red? Ah, here's orange. Red. Looks so pink in the thing, and then blue. It's all the way in the back to try and grab it. There we go. All right, cool. There's those. Okay, so, and then we'll also use clear in some of those designs. So I think I'm gonna do a little bit of mental math here. We're doing, let's see, I don't think this is actually necessarily 50 milliliters of, these are the Vampire the Masquerade dice. I don't think I'll actually need like 50 milliliters of resin. I think maybe between these and these, where I'm going to be putting these blanks into the D20s, that's probably about 50, I'm guessing. This is the 3 D20s, probably another, maybe another 20? So we're at about 70. I don't think we'll necessarily have enough for a full another set of dice, but We might have enough for either a 4d6s, 4 fate dice, or a jumbo d20. Which one? Here, I'm gonna do a poll because I can do that. I'm gonna start a poll. I'm gonna just I have to let me pull out my keyboard. What should we make? And our options are gonna be 4d6, fate dice, or jumbo d20. And we're gonna start the poll. So go ahead and vote on that. Let me know. You know, we'll run that for, I don't know, a minute or two. But those are going to be our options. Because I don't think we'll have enough for a full set of dice, but those take 20 to 25-ish milliliters of resin. Probably closer to 20. I think any of those take about 20. So we should be able to do that and have a little bit of leftover resin, which I'd rather have a little bit of it leftover resin than not enough resin. And if we have a little bit of leftover, I'll make some miscellaneous dice for my miscellaneous dice bin. I'll maybe finish the bottom of this jar, which I've been slowly working on. You can kind of see the layers there. This is another one of my dump molds that's been fun. But it's almost done. I just need to kind of finish up the bottom a little bit. You know, we'll find some dump molds for them. So we've got, I'd rather have, you know, slightly, let's see, how are we doing? Guys, we can't have it be 33% across the board. We can't have it be even, guys. Someone's got to make a decision here. We'll give it like a little bit more and see if anybody else votes. If not, I will decide. We can roll a die. If gotta do all of them now, bro. We don't got enough resin for all of them. Layers like an onion. Wait, what is I talking? Oh, well, kind of, I guess. Guys, a 3-way tie. Okay. Fine, you know what? I'm gonna end the poll. It is more like a parfait or tiramisu. All right, I'm ending the poll. You guys are no help. Exactly 3-way tie. Let's roll a d6. Let's see what I've got over here. We'll just grab a d6. All right. One. I'm the tiebreaker. I'm leaving it up to chance. A 1 or a 2 is going to be 46. 3 or a 4 is going to be fate dice. And a 5 and a 6 is going to be a jumbo d20. You ready? It's a 4, so it's fate dice, right? Yeah, 1, 2, yeah. All right, we're gonna make a set of fate dice. It's a 4. It's hard to see because I just grabbed a die that is in my 2 polish bin, but honestly, it really doesn't have any flashing on it. But it doesn't have the numbers filled in. But yeah, we're gonna do fate dice. I should clean up that set. There's like not a lot of there's like so little flashing on those. This would be very easy for me to clean up. But let's get, I have Patreon dice and stuff to get done first. Oh, what do we want to do for these? Tell you what, how about, we're leaving everything up to chance, right? So, how about I close my eyes and grab 2 colors out of here? And then we gotta use them somehow. Might as well. Alright, I'm not gonna look. We've got, ooh, a nice pretty blue color. There's our first color we're gonna have to use. Alright, ready? Put it at the bottom maybe. It's this one. Ooh, pretty! You know, those actually are quite pretty together. This one's a kind of like an interference gold color. It's like a white and then it shimmers gold. That'll be nice with the blue. I bet we could, let's find maybe, we could do like some sparkly flakes with it maybe. We could do, we could just do a dirty pour here. We could do literally this color resin with drips of this on it, and we'd do kind of a, thin line sort of effect like we've got on the bone dice that we're going to be making more of. That kind of spider webby look. We could also decide on another color. We could add another color or something. We could add foil. We could also do, we could throw something else in here. We could do glitter with it. Might be kind of fun to, that's pretty cool. I could do like a chunky glitter in the blue with the gold. I could do it kind of like half blue with the glitter and then half gold. That could be kind of pretty. You say foil and dirty pour? Gold foil. Do a little bit of gold foil with the blue and then that. Yeah, could do that. We've got pretty iridescent flakes. You're into it? All right. Yeah. All right. Let me pull out. Let's see, the Symphony Gold from a sample pack that I have. I think is that this one? Yep, that's this one. And our Sapphire Blue, which is, where's our Sapphire Blue? Is that this one? Nope, that's Rainforest Green. What's that? Oh, nope, there it is. Sapphire Blue. Those will be pretty together. Yeah, I like those. Just set these off to the side for now. A little bit of gold foil. Yeah. Alright, cool. Let me grab a couple more mixing cups. Again, pay no attention to what's over there. Here's the question on the dirty pour. Do we want to do 2 different colors of resin? So we'd have like the Symphony Gold resin, and then we'd have blue resin with gold foil in it, and we'd do those 2 as the dirty pour. Or do we do Symphony Gold mixed with gold foil and then drops of the blue ink on top of that as the dirty pour? It's going to have a slightly different effect. If we do 2 different colors of resin, it's going to, let me see if I have an example. Do I have a good example? Yeah, actually I do. I straight up still have the examples from the dirty pour video that I did a while back. If we do the 2 different colors of resin, it's probably going to end up more like this, where the colors kind of gently, bleed together a little bit. They swirl together. And there's patches almost of the different colors. Whereas if we drip the ink on top, you'll probably get more of these kind of like thin lines and, oops, if it will focus. Maybe it'll focus. Yeah, there we go. More of these like kind of thin lines, and more like a spider webbing kind of pattern up the top. So depending on how we use this ink, that's going to affect what this set looks like. I think if we did the more spider webbing sort of effect, we might also want to use white in there. I think that kind of helps make it pop on the surface. But do one of each. True, we could also do the resin and a drop of ink. I worry that it would overpower the gold a bit. We could do, to be fair, we could do mostly just the Symphony Gold. a little bit of like a lighter, like not very much of the sapphire ink, make it a nice light blue, with the gold foil in it, and then do a drop of the ink, maybe a drop of the white ink too. I'm not sure on that one. We could do both, that's true. Or we could do these two and then the two resins and then a drop of white over top to get kind of the spiderwebby look. While we just have the more mixed effect of these two colors together. There's so many options. Let me set this off to the side. I'm gonna start getting some things put into mixing cups while we think on that. I'll get the Symphony Gold put into its cup here. I don't know why I grabbed that one. Let's grab one of these. I don't think I'll need really. Yeah, you just saw the. I ended up rolling a die. No one would make a decision, so I left it to fate. And we've decided we're doing fate dice, which I guess is fitting since we left it to fate. And I also pulled random colors out of my tub of colors, and we are doing a nice Symphony Gold and a nice blue. We've decided we're going to do a dirty pour, but there's a couple of options on how we want to do the dirty pour. Do we want to do two different colors of resin, you know, the gold and the blue, or do we want to do just the gold with drips of the blue on top? Either way, we're thinking we're going to add some. You'd argue that it's actually perfect order. You know, honestly, that's a fair argument. It's like, we're perfectly balanced, as all things should be. In the most unhelpful way possible. Alright, add these. I don't want to add too, so I find glow-in-the-dark powders to be really finicky to work with. I don't know why I end up having trouble with them, but they like always sink for me. And I think some of it is that I add too much. So I want to try and get the balance right of adding enough to color the resin and make it glow, but not adding so much that it becomes super heavy, like super saturated with the glow powder, and makes the resin slightly denser and want to sink. So I'm gonna add a fair amount, I think it's a fair amount, and if we need to add more after we've mixed it up, like it's obvious that the color's not saturated enough and things, I'll add more. I usually try to get all of my dry pigments put into the cups before I, mix up my resin and stuff, but if I need to add more, I'll add more. I just don't like, to be fair, I can tell that I've grabbed these with resin-coated fingers before. They're not, none of my bottles and things are all that smooth. There's like a texture to them that tells me that there's been resin, they've been resinified. Okay, we've got our orange, we've got our pink, get our nice kind of purple color. Okay. I think I've added more orange and purple than I have of the pink. Just a little tiny bit more pink. A little tiny bit. There we go. That feels better. I've probably added way too much now. Who knows? Grab. So I'm just thinking here about what else we need. Oh, we just need to decide whether we're mixing the gold foil in with blue ink or if we are mixing it in with the gold. Let's just go all out. Let's do both a little bit of blue resin and a drip of blue on top, and we'll see what happens. Why not? Let's just do it. Let's just do a little bit of everything on that one. So we'll add the gold foil to the blue. We'll make blue resin. We'll add the gold foil to that. One more scoop of blue. Okay. Why not? I could also add blue foil if we really wanted to. It's kind of a different blue though. I could add blue foil though to the blue resin and gold foil to the gold resin. They work great. Yeah, I get the coffee stirrers and I cut them in half because I don't really need them to be super long. They're great for the little mixing cups. For the for this size I use this size popsicle stick, and then for bigger mixing cups I use either one of these or like a tongue depressor size. It works out really well. Because like you get too big of a stir stick and it just kind of gets in the way, and if you get too small, like if I try to use like a popsicle stick in this one, I'm just, my hands sticking in there. Alright. Let's just go, we're gonna go like, we'll go simple with things. We'll just do the blue and the interference gold and the gold foil, I think. Let's not overcomplicate it. We'll overcomplicate it in the design instead. Add a bit of foil. That's plenty of foil, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably plenty of foil. We'll add that last little bit. It's fine. I think we've got all of our designs pretty much figured out now. Just want to make sure that I have everything kind of, yeah, I think we've got everything. I want to make sure I have everything. I always feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, is this it? Okay. But I think we're ready to mix up our resin. Did we get all of those things set up so quickly? I've got my pigments for my bone dice, but those are all liquid ones, so we'll add those after we get the resin into the mixing cups there. I think we're set. All right, well, let me grab some safety gear. You got it, Ken. You know exactly what I'm grabbing. Junk. And some gloves. We want to make sure we protect our lungs and our skin while we're working with resin. And I'm just gonna check the inside of my mask for any spiders. I think we're good. That's so embarrassing. I hope you saw me going like this to try and read what you typed, which is, so how blind are you with no glasses? Does that answer your question? Does that answer your question of how blind I am with no glasses? Yeah. To be fair, I'm not actually that bad. Also, I'm going to be a little bit muffled for the rest of the stream, but I'll try to talk clearly. It's not like that bad. Mostly I can't see things that are far away, so like this stuff's all fine. You're a little bit more than that's about an, if I lean forward to here, you guys, the chat is in arm reach away, which I can read it from here, but it's blurry. If I squint, it's fine. Alright, I am going to be a little bit quiet for a second here while I measure out the resin. If you haven't heard the story before of why I go quiet while I pour resin, tell me in the chat and I will tell you once I am done, but feel free to chat amongst yourselves and I'll be right back in just a second. There's our resin. And our hardener. Yep, have a good time. Have a good time. Alright, there we go. Those bottles are sticky. Alright, I have returned. I was so far away. I did not want to, yeah. It just does not go well for me if I try to focus on pouring and measuring things and talking at the same time. It's like walking and chewing gum. But now we're just here to stir. And we're going to stir until, let's see if you can see. Can you kind of see? Can you see the striations? I can't tell. It's all very blurry to me over there. It looks kind of cloudy and stuff. We're going to stir until all of those streaks and all the cloudiness is gone. Because that means that it is not mixed together completely. I want to make sure that part A and part B are mixed together and not just sitting next to each other. I don't know what I want to stream next weekend. I'm thinking maybe inking dice. We have like a nice chill inking stream. I've got a few sets that I have like polished. I need to finish cleaning them, and then we could get those inked. I also have some Patreon dice that are finished polished, and I need to finish cleaning them, and we can get those inked as well. The ones for May, yeah, the ones for May. So maybe we ink things next week. But I'm always open to suggestions too. Like we've done some like random streams before. I think we did a stream once where I went through my I have a set of drawers over here that's all of like my raw dice. And we went through those and pulled out ones to add to, like, to put in the shop as raw sets, and figured out which ones to sand next. I think it's been a while since we did that. We could try doing that again. It's kind of fun. We could pour more resin. That's always an option. At this point, I'm just kind of streaming whatever I need to get done. It's part of the reason that I was thinking inking dice. But I mean, I can always sand dice. I could always, you know, there's lots of different parts of the process that always need to get done. We did molds recently, so probably don't need to do molds again. I mean, I need to finish molds, but don't need to do molds again as a stream. But it has kind of been a while since we've just made 3 sets of dice, like poured 3 sets of dice. We're doing a little bit of experimenting and stuff today, but got, Patreon dice and some commission dice and stuff that I'm working on today, so it's not just sitting down and pouring 3 sets of dice. Oh, I might, that's true. Sorry, I'm just thinking of what's going on here. I might, try and get some of my stuff into an art gallery here, just like sell it through them. I went and did a show. There was kind of like a little art show thing was it yesterday? Yeah, last night. There was like a little bit of like an art show thing last night that a gallery was doing, for like, local artists to come and kind of set up their booths and stuff. Not a lot of traffic, I'll be honest, but they're still getting it kind of off the ground, that event. But I was chatting with the people there about possibly getting some stuff into their gallery to sell. I I don't know how many sets of dice necessarily I'd put in there. I don't know how well those would sell. I don't know if that's the right kind of demographic for that. I'm thinking though that it would give me a chance to kind of clean up my shop a little bit and kind of move some of the sets that have been in there for like 2 years or something, you know, remove them from my online store and move them to like a physical location for people to look at. Might be a good way to clean that up a bit for a while. And then those sets might go back into the store later, but I don't think it would necessarily hurt if they've been sitting there for super long. Is there resin on the table here? How did resin get on the table here? I don't want that on my arm. Let's get the sides. I think probably I would end up trying to get some like random jewelry and stuff that I've made, because I actually have a lot more stuff that I bring with me to in-person shows than I have in my online shop. You know, I've got a bunch of like keychains and some jewelry and things, just because it's all different. Like all of my keychains are slightly different in shape and design and things, and it would be honestly, it would be a pain to try and set up listings for all of those keychains. Just, you know, taking photos of them all, and I feel like it would clutter things up a lot. So I've got stuff like that that I could go and put in the in-person show. There is actually some stuff that I have there that I probably should get photos of and put in my online shop. And I've got some cool necklaces and things, but it's like more work than you would think, I think, to set up online listings. Like just getting like photos taken of everything and getting those edited to a point that's nice, and then, you know, having put in all the information for products and making sure, you know, the photos are in the right spot and the prices are correct and all that sort of thing. There's even with like templates and stuff for the listings, you know, I have it set up so if I want to make a listing for a set of dice, I have like a kind of a blank template that I have set up, and I can copy that and just change it for, you know, add photos, and it's almost done. But even with that, you know, there's figuring out product descriptions and things like that. How are we looking? I think we're almost mixed here. I'm just going to scrape off the stir stick. I want to make sure there's no big glob of part A or part B on here. Might be good, actually. I'm not seeing any swirls, which would be my biggest concern. Is if there's any streaks left in here, that means part A and part B are not completely mixed. Let's scrape the sides and the bottom one last time, and then we'll call it good. Yeah, I'm not seeing any streaks. We'll call that good. And we'll start divvying this up. Okay. Now I have to try and think about math here. If we do about 10, I'm thinking maybe about 10 of each of these colors, maybe a little bit more of the white. Maybe a little bit more than 10, just a little bit more than 10, maybe like 12.5 of each of the colors for the bone dice. Normally I would film, you know, any commission that I'm working on. The reason that I'm not filming making these is because I've already filmed making these. I already have a few of these dice sitting over there. I'm just remaking them. And I'm remaking them in pretty much exactly the same way that I made them before. So I didn't feel like it was I didn't really feel like it was necessary to film the same process again. I'll just use the footage that I already have. We've got that. And about 60. Let's see, what else do we have? We could probably, maybe we throw these into the molds next. Because these are just going in with clear. Ah, there's a hair in my face. I'll get a haircut at some point because it's getting long enough that it's kind of getting in the way. Here, I can show you guys. It's the same with these as well. I've already filmed putting some of these dice into the molds, so I don't feel like I have to again. We've got these. Let me show you one of these dipped in resin because that really makes it pop. Let's see. Might be the wrong angle to see. Might be the wrong angle to see just how sparkly it is, but they're so sparkly. There you go. See all the sparkles. I probably should have put a little bit of resin actually into these molds first, but just put a little bit of resin in here. The reason I'm putting a little bit of resin is that I'm trying to make it so that air bubbles don't get trapped underneath these dice. I think I need to fix my blank molds. I sanded them, so I sanded them, and I made molds, and those are the molds I used for a while, and the blanks were just like slightly too big, and they bowed out the sides of the dice and kind of pressed on the numbers, and sometimes the numbers that had, you know, circles in them, so say like a 9, it would make it so that the center of the number would get wouldn't get resin in it, so you'd have the shape of the 9, but you wouldn't have the inside part of the 9. I don't know if that made sense. Yeah, this is probably an easier way for me to show you how sparkly these are. Just coat it in a little bit of resin. Sparkly. It's blurry, but it almost makes it sparkle more. And so I went and sanded my blank masters down more, and I made new molds, and that helped a lot, but I think they're still slightly too big. I think, oh buddy, you gotta move. You're not in there very well. There we go. And they still kind of, sometimes, it's like random, I feel like sometimes they'll kind of still bow out the edges of bow out the sides, which is, like, annoying, but doesn't actually cause, you know, a permanent issue, because I can just sand down the sides flat, but it makes it a lot more work, because I have more sides that I have to sand then. So it'd be nice if they were all just exactly the right size. You don't want them too small, because you want them to like barely touch the numbers so that the numbers will hold them in place. I have found with my jumbo D20, because the blank that I made for that is maybe a little bit small, that it's not too big of a deal. It's a little bit too small, really. If it's close enough, it will look like it is centered, and I'm making the cores out of resin, so if it's ever so slightly off, it's not really going to be an issue. If it's just slightly smaller where it's not quite touching the numbers on one side, seems to work okay. Alright, I'm going to set these off to the side and get whatever this is off of there. Piece of gold resin or something. I'm going to cut these on. Alright, what have we got left? We have got, next up, let's get all of our colors for the Patreon D20s poured in here. Let me probably need about 20 milliliters altogether, so maybe about 5 of each. Because we're going to use a little bit of clear as well. So we'll just do about 5, I think, of each. And that'll probably be enough for our project to do all three dice. Oops, I added a little bit more of that. And then let's see, how much of this do we have left? We've still got probably about 25, which is perfect. I don't know, I've heard that open flame works well. It's literally just isopropyl alcohol, though. The idea is just that it breaks the surface tension a little bit. Cool, I think we will have enough resin, hopefully. Because we do want to use some clear with these ones, and we want to use clear with these ones. So I'm going to focus on getting, I think maybe the bone ones poured first, because I want to make sure that those get done. And then we will focus on getting our resin kind of where it needs to be for everything else before we do the set of fate dice, because those are kind of the lowest priority here. Ooh, yeah, we've got plenty. That is plenty of glow powder in there. I probably could have used less. That is very bright orange. For some reason I was thinking I was going to have more resin in here than I do. Hopefully it doesn't sink too much. Like I said, though, we're going to try pouring all of these when the resin is a lot thicker. So we're going to do those last, because I'm the most worried about these colors sinking. Especially since I added probably more glow powder than I needed to, so this stuff's pretty saturated with it. I do like these colors, so I do think that it was a good choice to get rid of the green. I think these will be really pretty together. And I'm glad that we kept the blue in there too, because it does feel more sunrise-ish almost. I'm just getting these mixed up so we can make sure we've got, yeah, cool. Yeah, this will all be good. Alright, we've got pretty colors there. Set those back off to the side. And let's do our bone dice, I think. So, we have 3 colors here. We've got our warm gray. And this one, I'm going to add like 5 drops of that. So I'm cool with that being pretty opaque. Let's see if I can. So I always find it so satisfying to mix in opaque colors. I don't know why. It's like just one little like spot, and you start mixing it, and suddenly it's just like expands out. So I don't know. Those opaque colors are just satisfying. All right, we've got. So there's that. We've got our warm gray. We're also going to do some white. I've accidentally dropped in a piece of cured resin in there. Just a flake. This one I also want pretty opaque if I can. I'll do 5 drops of that as well. I'm hoping, so part of the reason that I want to make these dice a little bit more white and a little bit less warm toned is because resin tends to kind of naturally yellow a little bit over time. So I'm figuring that if these start out a little bit more white, they'll have a little bit of like some warm tones, some gray tones in them obviously. But if they start out a little bit more white, hopefully as the time goes on, they will continue to look like bone. They're not going to get like, you know, way too yellow and stuff to be recognizable. Ooh, let's shake this up. I really didn't get much of the color in here. Add a couple drops of that. And this is more of kind of a more orangey beigeish color. It's really sort of it almost matches my skin tone. Actually, it's very close to my skin tone. So yeah, kind of a beigeish tone. And then we will use some ink on top of this. I do think that I want this white to maybe be a little bit more opaque. And a few more drops. I don't want to add too much. I do worry about, because with resin pigments, which is what that is, they're sometimes water-based and they'll cause resin to not cure properly. Oh, there we go. That's great, though. It definitely made it more white, which is what I wanted. And more opaque. Alright. So, for these, we've got these three colors. I've got an empty one and I've got my white ink. And we're going to do a dirty pour. And normally I would wait a little bit before doing the dirty pour. Usually I try to do dirty pours when the resin's a little bit thicker because I want the colors to be more distinct. I'm not really worried about the colors being all that distinct on these. You know, I'm going for bone. The colors are going to kind of blend together anyways. Like, that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. So I'm not too worried about, you know, keeping them separate. But we're going to add a little bit of clear resin. Not too much. And then we're going to add kind of like strips in here of our different colors. So we'll add a little bit of white down the middle. And we'll add some of our warm gray tone on one side. And we'll add some of our kind of beigey tone. You ever made dice with bugs? I have, actually, yeah. I've done some with bees. I've got a whole thing of bees behind me. I've done some with beetles. I've done some with, I think I did one with an earwig once. Add a couple drops of white in here. So that's what our cup's looking like. Kind of hard to see with all the white on top, but we've got strips of the colors in there. But yes, I have done some dice with bugs. I was worried for a while there because I did like a little bottle with a bug in it with resin, and that seemed to after a while the bug kind of pulled away from the resin a little bit, and I was worried it's because, you know, I did it under pressure or something. I think part of it's the jar, because I think when I make like what do you call them? Well, I have little glass jars that I fill them with resin. I think when I make those, I need to not do it under pressure, because I've noticed that I've had a few jars break, and I'm thinking maybe it's because, you know, I do it under pressure, and then the resin is good, and then I take the pressure off, and the resin slightly expands a little bit or something. So I'm going to do a little bit of experimenting there, see if that's kind of what's causing my issue with that. And see if that's also maybe what's causing my issue with the bugs. Not quite, you know, them seeming like they're pulling away a little bit, because the dice that I've made with bugs have been okay. You've got a problem with spotted lanternflies. You've been finding them dead and thinking about using them. Yeah, go for it. Just make sure that they're like dry. You'll probably be fine. Which direction was the? Okay. Kind of swirl it around a little bit as we pour. We want some nice striations and such in there. The only thing that I've really run into with bugs is that they'll try to float. That's really been the biggest hurdle with bugs, is just a lot of plants kind of do that too, where they try to float. So it's kind of similar to working with plants almost, if you've ever done, resin with like flowers in them. It's kind of similar. I should do some more dice with like bugs and liquid cores and some of those fun things in them. Flowers. I like doing dice with flowers. And I feel like it's been a little bit since I've just done a set of dice with some flowers in it. Yeah, so I'm deciding what I want to do for stream next weekend.